Welcome to This Week in Racing, our roundup of the top racing headlines you don't want to miss. Logan, Claudia, we've got our hands full after a catastrophe, as Adam put it, at the U.S. Grand Prix. But let's kick things off with the topic that's on everyone's mind, which is whether Oscar Piastri can actually pull this damn thing off.
So after the summer break, Max Verstappen's been inching closer and closer to the top of that World Drivers' Championship leaderboard. I think I'd be really scared if I was Oscar Piastri because he's getting closer every single race.
I'd be sweating if I was Oscar. His teammate is on his back. Max, who seems to just never make a mistake, is hunting him down. And he had quite the lead. So not only would it be like a humbling experience, it would just be very embarrassing, honestly.
Well, and also, too, after the whole papaya rules, Zach Brown getting involved and the reprimands that are happening apparently behind the scenes, who knows what's going on there. But watching this gap evaporate since the end of spring break, it's only going to get more and more difficult for Oscar to hold this together. I feel for the guy. I think that's what snapped at the beginning of the sprint race, it seemed, when he cut across and he, led to his own demise. He took Lando out with him at least, so maybe there's consolation for him there, a payback. But yeah, it's getting tighter and tighter through the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the sprint crash was his fault, but that's just me.
Really?
I think he got hit from the back and there was nowhere else that he would go. Like his car bumped up. I really don't think that was on him.
No way. He got, I mean,
Uh,
I
Sorry,
watched it back
there's no
over and over
world where I
again.
think that's Oscar Piastri's fault, at all.
He had nowhere. Oh, I watched that back over and over again because I was looking for it to see, what, because everyone's gonna say this, right? Is it Hulkenberg? Is it Fernando? To me, it was Oscar's fault. Black and white. He was trying to cut up on Lando. He cut across the entire track. Where are you gonna go? It's the first turn. There's literally 18 other cars behind you. There's nothing that you can do. So he pinched Fernando with Hulkenberg, and he took out. Well, he ruined Hulkenberg's race, and he took Fernando out of it.
It's just getting messy. And with him losing the lead, it's making the dynamics between him and Lando even more challenging and just the dynamic at McLaren more challenging. I'm sure they're wishing that one of them would just get into the lead where it's like, okay, now we have to favor this guy because it's so even. They have to be fair. And I think it's really honestly making it much more challenging for both of them.
Yeah.
I think they should have been fair months ago and then picked a side because they've secured the constructors battle. That was no question who was going to get it, and I think McLaren really dropped the ball with the whole we don't have a number one driver thing. Oscar Piastri was doing well. He had such a big lead, but they were so obsessed with being fair that I think they lost the plot and is potentially losing both of their drivers a world championship.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 40 points for Max to catch up here. And to put that into context, one slip from Oscar is all that Max is going to need to capitalize on this if he can keep up this consistency that he's had. Yeah, it's, if you run the numbers, it's just way too tight. And even for Lando to catch up to Oscar, right? It's 2 race wins that separates him. If you think P1, P2, it's only 14 points. So
Max has also, suffered through lots of team drama too this year. We can't forget about that. I can't believe the Christian Horner stuff was this year. That feels so long ago now. He's got a new team principal. There's so much instability with the Racing Bull seats. I mean, he started with Liam, now he's got Yuki. He's pretty much carrying the constructors and drivers championship on his back. There's a lot going on behind the scenes there too. So it's definitely very impressive to see just how he can tune all of that out and drive, and clearly he is winning for a reason. And I think it's going to go to the very last race.
Well, speaking of Red Bull, last week we asked everybody if they thought Christian Horner should return to F1. The most popular answers were Ferrari and doesn't matter, let the drama king back in. So I guess Logan and I's opinions got vetoed and everyone wants to see him back in the sport. This week, we want to know who you guys think is going to win the championship. Will it be Max Verstappen once again, Lando, Oscar, somebody else, perhaps a Charles Leclerc Delulu championship?
Jack Doohan coming back from the grave.
While you're here, don't forget to press subscribe so you can stay tuned for more content like this.
You guys are going to skewer me on this one, but I want to talk about Carlos Sainz getting hit with a 5-place grid penalty for colliding with Kimi Antonelli. You just said that the sprint race accident was racing incident. What do you think of this one? Because, yeah, it knocked Carlos out. He's obviously going to serve the grid penalty in Mexico. And it felt like an obvious, no shit, Sherlock. Not a good move.
Yeah, it looked like a very rookie move. Like, that seemed honestly a little bit out of character from Carlos. Like, it looks like he didn't even try to turn or avoid it, and I guess he did lock up a little bit, but it just seemed a little bit silly in comparison to some of the other incidences that we've seen over the course of the season that have gone without a penalty. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened there, but it definitely goes back to the big question of like how the stewards determine what gets a penalty, what's fair, what's not fair. It's just never consistent.
That's what it felt like to me. It just feels like a consistency thing. I would have pegged Oscar to have a penalty after that opening lap incident. Just the way that he cut across. Again, crucify me, but watch the footage. Like, it really feels like he cuts across. And obviously, he took out a lot of people. In Carlos's case, thankfully, he only took out himself. And ironically, Kimi Antonelli had the fastest lap of the race, which is maybe it's good luck. He needs to get hit by Carlos every time. But yeah, it felt to me like it's one of those things where there should have been a penalty in both ways. Carlos deserved it. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Oscar, why he didn't get it, but it felt to me like it should have been there.
I know. I thought penalty was deserved. Penalty point felt a little harsh. You know who can't stop escaping the penalties? Is Ollie Behrman. Like, he actually can't catch a break. Like, that kid is penalties left and right every single race weekend. I don't even know how he's still standing. It's
What's his
actually
total at now? Because I know he was close to the race ban. Is he still on the edge?
Yeah, I think he's still on the edge. No race ban yet, but with how it's going, I wouldn't be surprised if he sits out on a race once this.
Get
Yeah,
Kevin Magnussen ready for Brazil again.
literally. He definitely finds himself in the mix of things, always.
Before we get to our big story in Mexico, let's run through the headlines that made this week's honorable mention list. Number 1, ex-IndyCar driver Colton Herta signs with Hitech for the 2026 F2 season. We talked about this before. We were debating last week whether or not Colton was going to end up with Hitech, Prema, or Rodin, and it turns out Logan was right. So, Logan, hats off to you. Over in F1 Academy, Chloe Chambers signs with Mahindra Formula E team to participate in the Formula E women's test in Valencia, Spain. So congrats to Chloe. Look forward to seeing that. And it's nice to see more F1 Academy drivers moving around. And then lastly, if you thought the start of the F1 sprint race in Austin was chaotic, try the Talladega Cup race. 27 drivers led, which nearly toppled NASCAR's record. That was chaos. Logan, you saw this. What did you think?
I thought it was insane. I mean, there were 77 lead changes, and I think it just goes back to something that we've been saying a ton about different racing series is like how IMSA has so many lead changes. There's so much chaos. There's so many races within the races. That's the same for NASCAR. That's the same for IndyCar. So I just want this to be a PSA for all the fans out there. Don't have your blinders on just for F1 and be open to watching anything motorsport or racing related because you get great action in all the series.
Okay. Next up in F1 is the Mexico City Grand Prix. We're going to see a lot of rookie and reserve drivers take the seat in FP1. The big one to keep an eye out for is Arvid Lindblad, who will be in the Red Bull car. But to name all of the ones that will be there, we'll have Pato O'Ward for McLaren, Antonio Fuoco for Ferrari, Frederick Vesti, Mercedes, Arvid Lindblad in Red Bull, Jack Crawford for Aston Martin, Paul Aaron for Alpine, Ryo Hirakawa for Haas, Ayamu Wasa for Racing Bulls, and Luke Browning for Williams. So really busy and chaotic weekend. I think it'll be super fun to see how they all do and perform, especially amidst a bunch of rumors for next season.
You mean all the open seats at Red Bull?
Yeah, basically.
It's like
They're all fighting for a Red Bull seat
it's a
at this
Hunger Games
point.
trial.
I'm excited for this, and I like the list of names because I feel like it's quite diverse, just in the sense that there's kind of the F2 drivers who are wanting to get a seat, there's the drivers who are racing full-time in other series. Antonio, I was surprised by. He's 29 years old and is racing for WEC and won the 2024 Le Mans with Ferrari. I thought it was kind of interesting that he'd be coming in as like not really a test driver, but doing this FP1 with Ferrari. Because normally I feel like it goes to the younger guys, the guys who they're looking to potentially like fill a seat with. So I always find it interesting when there's like an older, more established driver still kind of like testing the waters, I guess you could say. So I think this will be a very interesting FP1 for us to watch.
Well, Jack's one to watch. Arvid is the sort of the shoe-in, so to speak, for the Red Bull seat, but Jack, I think, is a really cool one because obviously we had Felipe Drugovich, who's going to be moving on to greener pastures and focusing elsewhere. And so to see Jack come in, I mean, there's always been the rumblings of should Lance be in that seat next to Fernando? What's going to happen? The only way you're going to find out is if you put someone else in the damn car. And so having Jack actually go out and show what he can do and do it in F1 machinery will be great. And maybe something that could shake up Aston Martin that people aren't really eyeing. Plus, it'll be cool. I mean, the more Pato gets in front of people, obviously, like, this is his fan base. Last year, you could hear people screaming from outside of a mall into the street lining up for him. Wild. But seeing him out there more, especially knowing we want to see an IndyCar race in Mexico City, the more he's out, the more he's around, the more he builds that fan base there, the more he's in front of people as a crossover. It can only be good things for IndyCar, and it certainly can only be good things for what's potentially to come for that race.
Definitely. Same with the Antonio stuff. I mean, hopefully he brings in a WEC audience to watch if they want to see the 2024 Le Mans winner participating with Ferrari. All of this is exciting and it's fun. Like, I mean, yes, we love our 20 drivers, but it's fun to see new names and see how they perform against drivers that are just getting kind of not necessarily thrown to the wolves, but like go out, prove to us that you can do this.
I wonder if it was part of Antonio's like contract that if he won, he's like, you give me 45 minutes to an hour on an F1 weekend, just for fun.
I'm sure it's a cool reward. It's better than a pizza party.
I don't think any of them are getting pizza parties. I think they're getting Rolexes and like a new Porsche, but like definitely their equivalent of a pizza party, kind of.
Dream big.
I think
whatever.
every day is a pizza party if they're at a Ferrari team. Like, I think one of the most exciting names that I was very happy to see was Luke Browning. He's part of the Williams driver development program, and I don't know, he kind of seems like the only prospect that we could actually potentially see in F1 in the coming years. So I'm excited to see how he fares. I think he fits in with the Williams team so well. Like, he just looks like he belongs there. And yeah, I hope he puts in a good performance. And I'm going to be keeping an eye out for his name because I think it's going to be on the grid soon, sooner than we expect.
Well, that's it for today's episode. Comment below with any headlines that you think we missed. And while you're there, be sure to check out our channel membership so you can get access to exclusive bonus clips, headlines, early access to all of our videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.